Hi, a question for Stephen. Where does that sort of leave you after tonight? What's your major positive and your major negative from this evening?
I felt it was a good game overall. First of all, I think. Okay. I felt it was a good game overall. I felt it was quite an open game. Two teams playing progressively. I think Qatar are quick on the counter attack. They have dynamic players who are quite fast and speed in their team. But overall, I felt we deserved to win the game. I think we probably had 4 or 5 very good chances and 2 chances, in the last 10 minutes. I don't know how we didn't score then at the end, but it's so we're disappointed not to win the game overall.
Okay, Stephen, thanks. The sound here is not very good.
Say that again, sorry, Guy?
Sound's really poor.
Guys, is there anything you can do about the sound? Hello?
The sound, guys.
The sound. Could you increase the sound, please?
Yes. Okay.
It's like a buzz on it.
It's interference rather than the volume, Kira.
Okay. Have they sorted that now?
Also, while you're talking, just press. So also they can hear you.
Oh, you've gone off here. Okay.
Goes off
Do you want to carry on, Guy? I think we sorted out the sound now.
Yeah, sure. So, Stephen, how do you look back on the 10 days now? Do you feel you sort of progressed? Have there been positives for you for the camp?
Yeah, listen, we're very disappointed overall. In isolation, in isolation, I think the Serbia performance was very, very good. I thought we were excellent at times, matched Serbia all the way. Really, it was a tremendous game. We got punished for a couple of mistakes. I think 3-2, we're disappointed to lose, probably merited the point. Big letdown was obviously losing to Luxembourg, which none of us are proud of. We have to live with that, and that's something that we have to contend with. I think, it's in the game, Luxembourg only had 1 chance on a shot from outside the box. It's not a game we deserve to lose. And we just, again, didn't take some chances on the night and maybe lacked a bit of creativity. But tonight, again, some really good football tonight from the players, and showed a lot of quality in the game. And, with a mixture of probably 7 of the under-21 team over the last couple of years coming in. Gavin Bazunu, Darrell O'Shea, Jason Knight, Jason Malumbi, Troy Parrott, Josh Cullen and Ryan Manning. And they've all come into the team. And the more experienced players like, Shane Duffy coming back in doing well, Cyrus Christie doing well also, and James McClean on his 80th cap, scoring on his 80th cap and doing so well to come from where he was, and his injury, on his foot injury that he had to come out and perform tonight. He did really well.
Cheers, Stephen. Thank you.
Damien Spellman, please, PA.
Hi, Stephen. On that theme, we've talked a lot about the young players over the last 10 days, but the more experienced lads, some of them showed that there are key roles for them to play moving forward.
Yeah, I think it's we've got to build have a squad with intense competition. We've got to have a squad with intense competition. I think September window has 3 games in 6 days. The sheer intensity of the games, away to Portugal, Azerbaijan, who look a good team also, and Serbia at home, 2 home games, means that a lot of players can play 3 and 6. Particularly we found that with a couple of players that played the other day, haven't gone for the second game in 3 days if they're not playing with their clubs regularly. So a couple of them really struggled with it. To get the levels that they met in Serbia, such as the intensity of a game like Serbia takes out of players. So I think we will need a squad going forward, and we're formulating one so that's the way I view it.
Can I just ask James, how good was it to end that wait for a goal, and are you confident that you can score goals for Ireland moving forward?
Yeah, it's obviously nice. My last goal was the goal in Wales, so it's been a bit of a while coming, but I think I've proven over the years I can score goals for Ireland. So hopefully now that's a little kickstart for me going forward. They had a few more. Look, the more players chipping on the goals, obviously the better it is for the team. So yeah, hopefully that's the first of a nice little spell.
Thank you.
Ed Leahy, please, RTE.
Hi Stephen, how you doing? Before the match, Kevin Doyle was talking about the performances so far, and he said generally everything looks good, apart from just the little details are just the things that are undoing the team. Does that give you sort of hope that the project is working to a certain extent, and are you confident that those little details will right themselves over time?
Yeah, being honest, of course I would have wanted to do better. There's no point in me just saying otherwise. I think so far we certainly would have wanted to do better, but there is a lot of encouragement with some of the displays as well, and I think you can see the sort of the integration of the young players and the experienced players, and the morale, the spirit was terrific this week, but it's no good. You have to transform that into results, and I think that it's very good spirit and morale in the place, and a lot of good football played in some of the matches. But we need to improve. We know that, and we have some good players to come back into the team who have missed out this week as well. Johnny Egan, Conor Hurdan, Aaron Connolly, and both of the goalkeepers have been missing, obviously Darren and Queeveen. So a lot of more competition now for places, and we will need that with the 3 games in 6 days of that intensity, because now all of a sudden now the midfield players there's genuine competition there, and so that's it. There's some areas that we haven't got loads of wingers, and we haven't got loads of left backs. And I think we're strong. We have more competition in some areas than others.
I think the Zoom has just cut out, so whilst they get it back going again, is there any questions from the floor or in the room? No? We'll just wait until. Okay, guys, I think the Zoom just cut out there, so they're just adding you back in there. Ed, do you want to have a question for James?
I lost you there just at the end of that. No, just really the other thing I just wanted to ask about when we saw the Hello?
John, turn off your mic, please. John Fallon, please turn off your mic. There you go.
Sorry, Stephen. I suppose when the team was named tonight, it was quite evident that the experience that was brought into the team for tonight's game, and the youthful sort of injection into the team over the previous 2 games, was that a hard juggling act to get right in terms of making sure the morale wasn't affected within the ground? I so assume it's testament to the senior players that they were able to take the situation, I suppose, of not playing.
Yeah, I think it's an honour and privilege to be selected for the Republic of Ireland international squad. It's an honour that every player acknowledges and understands, and to wear the green shirt is pretty special. I think that's made obvious by all the players, particularly the captain Seamus Coleman, and all the players. They understand the importance of wearing it. So it's an honour to be in the squad. It's an honour to be selected, whether you're playing or whether you're coming on or whether you're not involved. It's all about your country. You're doing it for your country. So whatever role you have to play, you have to sacrifice yourself for your country. And that's the way we view it.
Great, so thanks a lot.
And Dan McDonald, please.
Just for James. James, if I could just ask what there's been criticism obviously in response to Saturday. Can I just ask what the mood has been like in the camp amongst the players? There's been criticism of the manager, of the players, of the whole setup. I suppose, what's just the general vibe been around the place in response to that?
Well, first and foremost, Daniel,
James, turn on your mic.
sorry. First and foremost, Daniel, I can tell you now, wholeheartedly, that it hurts us more than it hurts anyone, because we're the ones responsible. And Saturday night, it was a real low. There's no getting away from that. It hurt. It hurt a lot. And look, we have to pick ourselves up. We have to love with that. Ultimately we're the ones on the pitch at the, and it just wasn't good enough from us as players. But since then, we got here Sunday. The attitude's been spot on. The captain said a few words. The manager spoke. As a group, we got ourselves together and we said, we have to live with that, and we are the ones going forward that need to change that. And I thought tonight, and in large parts, we were very good. I think you can see what we're trying to do. The goal was, it was a very poor goal from us. They concede, and that's the things we need to cut out. They've been an even better team. So, but I think, tonight there's positive signs. I think Serbia, there was positive signs as well. So we just need that first one. I think when we get that first one, hopefully that'll kickstart, and the rest of the ones will follow.
And so, Stephen, can I just ask, Stephen, you just mentioned on your TV interview that you felt those people had been coming out of the woodwork in the last couple of days. Is there aspects of the response to Saturday that you found disappointing or sort of surprised you in some way?
No, I'm not. That's I think perspective is needed as well. Like, my first game was only 6 months ago as manager, and I think that's part of it. I'm committed here for the campaign, and I think the players are really emerging. A lot of players are, as I spoke earlier, really emerging into the squad and integrating with them. So I think the future is bright, really, and I think we've other players that weren't there, like James's clubmate Nathan Collins and Adam Ida. A lot of young players really coming through, vibrant players coming through, who will be important players for Ireland. And a lot of the experienced players still have so much to give as well. So I think we'd be a lot happier if we'd have beaten Luxembourg, and we haven't, and that's a result that I said I'll have to live with, and that's what it's one that, not that other, they've won quite a few games recently, but that's one we have to contend with, and I have to accept criticism for that, and I'm not trying to deflect from that. That's something that you have to accept. But we're very determined to improve. We're implementing a style of play. We've I've spoken countless times, you don't want to repeat it, about the number of players we've brought through, which hasn't happened in a decade or more, for sure. We know players at all through, one player in 8 years or something. So I think this is a new era of these players coming into the team and learning from the Seamus Combs, the James McCleans, and all of those players, what it means to play for Ireland and the values that they have, and that can only improve them, improve their attitude, and the determination. And I think we've got a lot of talent coming through, and okay, all of them maybe are not already now, but they will be in due course.
Okay, we've only got time for 2 more questions. I see Gavin and Philip have raised their hands, so if you could just keep it to one, guys. Gavin, just keep it to one, and then we'll move on to Philip for the final question.
Yeah, thanks very much. Just one for Stephen to follow on from the theme of Daniel's question, really. Stephen, with the criticism that has been flying since Saturday, are you hurt by it? Does it bother you?
No, to be honest with you, Gavin, I've experienced a lot in my life, and I feel really strong. To be honest with you, it doesn't hurt me because, you know what, I don't care. I know what I'm doing, very clear what I'm doing, real clarity in what I'm trying to implement, and I don't care what anyone says. I'm very clear what I want to do, and that, you know, it's irrelevant to me what other people think, to be honest with you. But there are people coming out of the woodwork that want to kick us while we're down, and that's very evident, and maybe that's to be expected. But some people have turned very quickly, and I think I think we will get back on track, and we will have give the Irish supporters a team that they can be really proud of.
Thanks very much, Steve.
And final question from Philip, please.
Thank you, Kieran. Stephen, the performance tonight was much better than Saturday. You went with the senior players, experienced players tonight. You regret not playing them on Saturday. It might have been a different result.
Well, I left out some experienced players on Saturday as well. I left out, Shane Duffy came in for Kieran Clark. So it wasn't, Cyrus Christie came in for Matt Doherty. James McClean came in for Enda Stevens. So, there wasn't, we had Jason Malumbi, Gavin Bazunu and Darrell O'Shea in the team. So there was some experienced players playing on Saturday as well. It wasn't a case that all the young players were playing Saturday and experienced players were in tonight. That wasn't it, And I think, we have a squad. There's a lot of competition, and there's not a lot between some players that that it's very even in certain positions, and some players obviously had injury interrupted times which have affected their selection as well, or loss of their place at their club. So for which has meant they haven't been playing matches. So we've had to factor these decisions in that regard.
Okay, guys, thank you very much.